I bought this. I spent a hard-earned money on this. There's not really much I can say about this. I can't justify what I've done all that much. I might as well just get into the little intro thing. Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and today we are taking a look at the Toru Hagakure action figure from McFarlane Toys. I think if they were to release this on April Fool's Day, then the internet would have taken this a little bit lighthearted, but no, people are very divided on this. And I voted with my wallet. I bought it, and I'll get into why I bought it a little bit later. So hear me out towards the end of the video. But this figure is as stupid as it sounds. I've already seen a couple of reviews on this because I want to make sure I'm not telling the same jokes. Because we are all saying the same thing. You can literally do whatever you want with this thing. It's the best action figure. I have to convince myself that it was a good idea to buy this. So let's open it up and take a closer look at it. Because the packaging doesn't show you enough. Yeah, let's open her up. And here's the invisible girl herself. Hagakure. That's it. That's the figure. You can move the pegs on the base if you want. I mean, if I can, because this happened. Yeah, you can move that. Yeah, there you go. You can move her foot. You can make it look like she's running. Whoa! And if you take her off the base, her leg articulation is fantastic. Look at that. Woo! And her arm articulation. Oh yeah, she can go. Hold on, let me at least put some of this in focus because there's not really much to focus on. So you can have her go all the way out here. You can have her go all the way there and there. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with her. You can treat her like Rayman. Which, speaking of, since this figure's released, now I want a Rayman figure. I've always wanted one since I was a kid. But yeah, it's probably never going to happen. But yeah, there's not really much to say about this figure. Every joke I want to say has already been said. Like, it's the, quote, most accurate action figure out there. You can do whatever you want with it. I mean, those points are valid. They're not wrong. But I feel like they could have done a much better job releasing this figure. I mean, it's hilarious. It's absolutely funny. Like, it's a big middle finger to the fan base or collector market, and yet we still buy it. But I agree with somebody's review. If they would have packaged this with another character, let's say another female character, whether it be Sue or God knows who else is there, because I can't remember anime names for the life of me. Point is, they could have comboed this with her, and it would have been justified. It would have been fine. Unfortunately, they released her by herself. And, I mean, it was brave. I'll give them that. Like, they had a lot of courage doing this. And I bought it right up. Now, this figure is Funimation exclusive, so you're not going to find this guy in stores. So if you do want to get her, link will be in the description so you can pick this up. But, I mean, I guess we can technically, review what she does come with, like how did the paint apps look and all that stuff. And, I mean, they look alright. Like, when I think of McFarlane Toys, I think of, the old stuff from back in, the mid to late 90s, and I have a much higher standard. But they definitely don't do that anymore, because, you see, a little bit of paint smear on that left boot right here. You see, right above here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm pretty sure you can. And then, some of the paint doesn't line up with the gloves. I remember I was looking at it earlier, and something seemed off. Look at that one all the way to the left. Oh, yeah, that one to the left. The paint's not in the indent. So, I mean, the modern day My Hero Academia McFarlane standard, that's there at least. I wish they could have at least made the boot hollow, but that's just me. But something that I was curious about is, what if you have an old Figma stand? Can you actually put it on there and get a little bit more dynamic with it? I haven't tested this yet, so we're actually going to find out firsthand. Okay, so it actually does really fit on the Figma stand really well. So, I mean, if you have some Figma stands, if you have some extra ones at least, you can actually be a lot more dynamic with this. So you actually can do something with this. So that's actually pretty exciting, no lie. But let me tell you really why I bought this figure. Not only because of the fact that it was Funimation exclusive, but this is probably going to be the only figure of this character. Like, if, let's say, Figma or Amazing Yamaguchi did it, the chances of them actually getting away with it would be very slim. Because, sure, they could pack in more accessories, technically. Like, they could pack in a few more hands. They could do a lot more stands to go with it. But at the end of the day, they're probably going to charge a somewhat premium price for it, and nobody's going to find it justifiable. While with McFarlane, on the other hand, they can get away with it because it's less than $20. Like, it's silly. So they can get away with it. And so I bought it up. And also, because of the fact that it's also online exclusive and everybody's laughing at it for now, I think right now it's a good investment, because since this is only going to be the only figure of this character, I think it's best to buy a couple of these now, and then once the figure line is either done or something like that and everybody's looking for this figure after they're done laughing at it, it's going to go up to a decent premium. Because like I said, it's probably going to be the only figure of the character, so it's good to buy it now. And even then, I didn't even pay full price. I paid like $16 because I had the premium. And I spent like $5 on shipping, but I bought something that was $5 instead, so I just got my girlfriend something instead. So at the end of the day, I only paid $16 for this figure, so only $16. $16 for boots, gloves, and a stand. There's not really much I can say. Like, if you think this is stupid, then don't buy it. If you think this is silly, you probably should buy it. But if you really do want a figure, technically, of this character, this is the most accurate you're probably going to get. And right now is the time to buy it, because I am confident it is going to go up in price. Like, now is a good time to invest in it. So let's pull down some of my figures and compare the size difference. Because, I don't know, the height difference doesn't really matter now, does it? Alright, so here she is next to the Amazing Yamaguchi, Bakugo, and Midoriya. Now, the real comparison I want to make with these figures is not the height. The height, we can laugh at that. But the real comparison I do want to make, though, is how do her feet and hands compare to the other characters? Because, like, if you compare it to Midoriya's hands a little bit smaller, but not too bad. But if you compare the feet are actually pretty close. So when it comes to that form of scaling, it actually does work pretty well. But if you compare it to, say, like Bakugo's hands are quite big, but I feel like they actually scale half decently well next to a falling figure. Okay, let me try that again. Like, her body proportions do seem to scale half decently well compared to the Amazing Yamaguchi. Like, I think she'll fit in just fine. And personally, I don't really collect the McFarlane figures because I just don't like the way they look compared to what we get offered from with Japan. But now let's compare her to the Figma. Now here she is next to the Figma Bakugo Midoriya. And the comparison I was making when it came to the hands and feet, they definitely fit in a lot better with the Figma line than they do with the Amazing Yamaguchi, but I feel that they still look pretty good next to each other. Now here she is next to Kirishima and Uraraka, which her hands do look a little bit big, but because she is also wearing gloves and they're not, that kind of does add a little bit to it. So, in my opinion, I still think it looks really great. And then there's Todoroki, which the Figma's really short, so I'm really excited for the Amazing Yamaguchi. But I'll still love the Figma though, the Figma looks pretty nice. And compared to Amazing Yamaguchi All Might, yeah, there is quite the height difference we got there. At least that's accurate though. So overall, what are my thoughts on this figure? I mean, I already said it. Like, it's silly, but it is technically the character. If you really want it, I mean, now's the time to get it. Because I think you'll regret not picking it up if you don't. It's silly. It's stupid. It's a waste of money. But it exists. An action figure of an invisible character exists. And I spent my money on it. Am I stupid for it? that's your call, and you're probably gonna say yes. But you gotta add it to the collection now, or else you're not gonna have a complete character collection. Personally, I'm not a fan of McFarlane toys because I don't like how their paint and sculpts look compared to the other figures. But I think this is the one exception that I can actually get away with it and have it look just fine. So let me know in the comments, do you plan on picking this up? Do you think it's a complete waste of money? I did it, and to be honest, I don't regret it. Am I gonna buy more of them to hopefully flip on eBay in the future? Possibly. It depends on how my finances look. But I'm debating it. I'm really debating it. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. And if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. And if you like some of these pictures of my hero figures, I do pictures like these all the time. So follow my Instagram because this is one of my biggest hobbies. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace.